I'm Nate Brown. I was the owner of the U-17 along with the rest of the crew. That's why we called it Our Gang Racing.
So I'm Kip Brown. I was the driver. We were the U-95 at the time, and it was Spirit of Qatar and Our Gang Racing.
It was. Well, to start off with, I mean, we were the U-17 originally, and we had Red Dot as a sponsor. And in Qatar the year before, we filled in for Dave Wilwalk's boat, basically Eric Elstrom, and they sponsored us as a second boat over there, and it went pretty well. So after Dave's running over all those buoys, I guess, and they hurt that boat, he sponsored us in 2013, which was really great of him. He did it out of his own pocket. It didn't Qatar. It was out of his own pocket from his original sponsor. So we wanted to put our best foot forward, and he was able to build us some nice props, which you know as well as everybody else, that's kind of key in that category. And we went into the Gold Cup, you know, running competitive first couple races, but we really wanted to do well at the Gold Cup. And the chips obviously kind of came out great the way they ended up, but it didn't all start out that way, right, Chip?
No, we were kind of running where we had run. We were a top 3, top 4 boat. We had, you know, we were running against Porter. We were running against the Madison team, and they were very fast, very good. The U9 was fast and good. John Zimmerman was running. And every heat was competitive. And it was kind of luck of the draw and battle of attrition, as it is always at Detroit. And we needed to, like Nate said, put our best foot forward, score some points, and get into the final. That's what it's all about at Detroit. You need to make it through the weekend to get a chance to actually get your name on that trophy. If I remember correctly, we ran okay at Madison, and we qualified fairly well at Detroit. We weren't a world beater, but we weren't a dog, and we just needed to keep our nose clean and make it to the final, and we were able to do that. Well, Detroit's the only race course like Detroit. That is, it's got, well, let's just start at the start-finish line. Right past the start-finish line, you've got a bit of a dog leg, and then you go into the Whittier bumps. The Whittier Hotel is off to your right. Those bumps will upset your boat. The water gets shallow there. Then you get through the Whittier bumps, and then you go into the Belle Isle turn. Belle Isle is the biggest turn in boat racing. We go through that at over 200 miles an hour, entering the Belle Isle. Exiting the Belle Isle, you've got a little bit of a breather to where you can actually kind of just drive the boat, kind of feel it. And then you've got another dog leg. Just past that dog leg, you get into the DYC, Detroit Yacht Club rollers, because our boat wakes will go up against the boom there in the docks at the DYC and come back at you. Well, you have to get your boat through that and settle it down to get into the Rooster Tail turn, because the Rooster Tail turn is now the tightest turn that we run in H1. Exiting the Rooster Tail, you got to have the canard all the way down, trailing edge down, to get the boat to pack air again, so that you can get a run at that next dog leg just past the start finish line. So incredibly challenging race course, and unlike any other race course that we run.
It's fun though, because it's not the, you know, set your wing and drive the boat to the next corner. You have to drive it every step of the way, all the way around the course. And my career, I loved driving there, or I hated driving. It all depends on how it fared. But I either got second or I crashed, or I got second and I blew something up, or whatever. And I've won there a couple times. Once as a crew chief for the Winston Eagle, Mark Tate driving, once as a driver, running for Kim Gregory during the Gary Garbrick years. We had 4.5 fuel, which was awesome. And then obviously once when Kip drove the wheels off it for us. So it was good and bad for me, but it was really cool to be able to have that trophy. So I went in. And it's the take-home trophy there. And unfortunately, the first year that I won it was the first year you couldn't take the big one home. So that was a bummer. I never had that pleasure or unpleasure, I guess, according to Chip, to have that big old thing sitting in your living room. But it was a fun race, great race course, great fans, and fun to watch it from the beach too as well.
Hey.
Okay, I see a boat race.
So the 2 guys with talent, 3 guys with talent, just made a start.
Stevie.
Oh, there we are. Oh, way behind.
Yeah.
Oh. So this is at this point, stay clean, get points. No chance you're going to win the heat because you blew the start.
Good race up front.
Yeah, fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
from here in Preston.
This is why I was on the radio, but I didn't really do the radio.
Really good race.
At this point in time, I was up in the stands, probably kind of going, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
stay clean.
Look at these 2 fighting.
Yeah. That was a good tight corner.
Yeah. Nice work by Jimmy Shane. World-class boat racer. Steve David, another one. Ah, look at that. Poof.
Poof. Looks like you're coming into the pits there.
Yeah, well.
It's a tough spot to be where Steve David was in that because you can't really see the corner. All you see is the boat on the inside. And the inside boat was squared off, and you're left in the tule break. See right there? So you couldn't tell where he was, and instantly gained about 4 boat lengths. At this point, it's over for Steve too.
And he knows it. So he kind of backed off a little bit, and now Jimmy's just kind of running by himself. This was pretty early, really, for Jimmy, but already showing, what he's got as far as the driver's concerned. He's taking care of Steve David. He got the inside on Steve, and
Squared that corner.
oh,
look at that boat handle.
Oh, that's
like
just
a fast boat.
garbage.
Just
Garbage.
Yeah. Feels comfortable in there too.
Yeah. Jimmy's kind of checked out at this point. I mean, he's only got 3/4 of a rooster tail, but he's got the inside, and it's his race course. So as close as Steve is, he wants to keep pushing, but Jimmy's got this one in the bag. I think we're running 3rd, which is decent points for, a 5 heat setup like Detroit is. So now it's just survive, don't break anything. We got a white flag here, and we got 3rd place locked up because there's nobody even close behind us. Let these 2 guys go beat up their stuff. We're coming up on the Spirit of Detroit there to lap them, and basically just bring the thing back in one piece. We got one more set of heats before the final, and at this point, I think we're probably sitting pretty.
It is what it isn't. If you have a good start in the inside lane, yeah, no one's going to beat you if you have a competitive boat. But if you grab the inside lane and you're trolling at the start, you're going to get eaten up alive in the Whittier.
Yeah.
The big corner.
All right, so Spirit of Qatar, we had 768 points. We were sitting 5th after that heat. And so that's still front line. but we probably had to have a pretty good fourth heat in order to make the final. Well, good. He deserved it.
Was it really?
I don't know.
I know the penalty. The guy on the screen right now. He had the biggest penalty of the day, though.
He really did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah.
I was going to say, I could tell that the boat was high on fuel the way it was running.
Yeah, pretty much always been a cheater.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that gorgeous
One
piece. Oh, that was a good look. Oh, look at that guy.
All
Dead
net.
sexy.
All net.
Dead sexy.
How did you ever land Tiffany, by the way?
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. Okay, you have that going for you.
And, oh my God, nice turn.
Lane 17.
I know.
It's
What
their
is my
boat number,
problem?
It's okay. It's good. You
All
still won that race.
Yeah.
That means you got second.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. He knew that going into it.
It's good.
Right? He could tell. Kip could probably tell. He's like Bill Walk. He could tell that Jimmy was over on fuel, so he backed it down and was able to take care of everything.
I smelled several parts per million extra Jet A from way back there.
Do you see how wide everybody was taking that?
Look at that. The camera loves me, though. Look at that. They love me.
You know, Kip's always had a goatee. You know why? Because without a goatee, he's got no chin.
Zero. It gives me a facade of having a profile.
Yeah.
Because when you have a honker like this and no chin,
Look at the size of that nose. Is it really that big?
It's the same as yours.
No, it's not.
It's the exact same.
I like to see the checkered flags. Those are always good.
Yeah, that means you're done.
Yep.
Oh yeah, cheating bastard, that guy.
It's a wonder if he's even still running these things.
It's a wonder.
So much.
It's a wonder. I think that he's got something on Mike Hansen, is what it is. Really?
Cool. So we are.
All right, where are we? Look at that. We're sitting second in points after 4. That's because we did win. We won. We won a heat. Yeah, because I took a ride in a Corvette and stuff. They cheered for me and everything. Look at that. Lane 1, baby.
That was cool.
Look at that. Oh, and broke the clock, baby.
That was good.
Yep. Thank you. Lane 1 broke the clock. Somebody ought to give that guy a trophy.
Squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Sun shines on a dog.
This is where it gets kind of puckery, because, you know, when you're in that lane 1 and you see a guy running around the outside that could squeeze you down, and you got somebody else on your hip, you're hanging out of that wheel pretty tight and concentrating where you're going to be.
Thank God Jimmy didn't get a great start, because he could have ate me up in that first turn.
Yep.
And as it turns out, we actually got through the first turn clean, and Steve was actually checking out at this point already. Now, Jimmy launched down that back straightaway like he was a bat out of hell, and he comes in and meets his maker here in the Rooster Tail turn. This is where all that ugliness happens. Thankfully, Jimmy didn't come over on me, because he would have put me on his lid, on my lid for sure. Right there, he eats that Rooster Tail. And that was that.
And actually, you know, hats off to Jimmy, because
he could have come over on me.
He could have come over, and Jimmy didn't, and in doing so, saved Kip and took the hit in the nose.
Yep, that's exactly right. So there's the Jones boat, and they're actually out of it right now. Steve is checking out. I'm settling into second. Jimmy's got a canard that's at 45-degree angle and not happy.
I remember being up in the stands thinking to myself, okay, we got second. Hang on to it, Kip. Hang on to it. And then when they announced the DQ on Steve, it was just crazy. I felt this chill go up and down my back. And then I saw the race that he was putting on with Zimmerman was nuts. And then I thought Zimmerman had him, because all of a sudden he took off. But for some reason, I don't know if
you're getting ahead of us.
I guess I am. That's several laps ahead.
Yeah.
It's okay, but it was good.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, no, Steve was gone at this point, and there's John. He was on the outside. I was still running the inside, And Steve was running like lane 2.5 or something like that and giving me room. You can see the canard on Jimmy's boat. So he's done. I mean, effectively, that thing's bow steering and everything else. That thing was probably a nightmare to just keep on the water. Well, yeah, you can see from that picture right there. It did not want to go around a turn,
Terrible.
everything else. I mean, Tommy Thompson's coming around his outside and trying to find a place to go. But Zimmerman is on the pipe now on the outside in clean water, and he's coming. Well, Steve David's out front. I think I'm running for second, and then Jeff Bernard gets on my radio. Jeff's my radio guy, the best radio guy of all time, by the way. And well, there's John and I. John ate me up on the outside, and then right about now is when the announcement comes through that Steve David's got a penalty. Jimmy's already out of it. Now John and I are racing for the Gold Cup, and this is where
That was the corner right there.
Yeah, this is the race where it actually starts, and that I think that we changed the lead something like, I don't know, 12 or 15 times or something like that during this race. This was in unlimited or limited hydroplanes, flat bottoms, anything else that I've ever driven. I've never had a more competitive race than this one, and it happened to be the biggest race in my career.
But look how far he was in front of you. I mean, how did you catch him?
Well, you wait here actually on the beginning of lap 4 or the end of lap 3. He's got enough overlap on me to where he could come over for sure. Well, right here too.
Yeah, I mean,
he could come over right there.
Easy 5.
I guarantee that Jeff Campbell is telling him to come over, and I guarantee
telling him, screaming at him.
I guarantee that John's going, yeah, I've seen this movie before.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, he's got me. He's got me. He's a gentleman.
Well, he must have that, but he also got something must have come up in his face or something.
We're turning better than them.
For sure. Look at that.
They've got top end on us. And
acceleration.
And we've got lane position.
Thank goodness.
That was the only thing, because they had the faster boat. There's Webster head in the water. They had the faster boat, and there it is, deck to deck, going into the Belle Isle.
How'd you pull him there? He must have got it in his face or something.
Well, he did several times. I mean, they had that boat set up super loose. We had ours set up kind of tight, actually, but it made it so that we could drive through the Detroit River. We actually had the lead here, so you can watch John come along the outside. Jeff Bernard's just screaming at me.
We're all screaming. Everybody's screaming.
Oh my God. I was probably screaming.
See how loose you got right there for a second?
Yeah, I got a little loose. Yeah, but that's DYC. What are you going to do?
This hole right here is going to bite you.
Checkered flag. And that was it. Jeff said, stay on the throttle, don't lift. This is for the Gold Cup.
It was pretty cool, I got to admit. Being in the stands like that, I never forget running down. I think I jumped from the handrail down to the next bleacher set. It was pretty cool. Very cool. It's every bit as fun to watch Kip win that race as it was to win one myself.
There's Steve Audette in the background. There's Spider. Whoop. There goes Mallow.
Yep.
Yeah, those poor guys. I mean, look, it's Detroit, and so nobody comes out of there clean. As it turns out, there's my lovely bride. The only dirty that we came out was a bunch of beer from the bath at the trophy ceremony.
It was cool for me because that's where I proposed to my wife too as well. That was really cool. It was an awesome experience, and I knew it was a once in a lifetime deal. So took advantage of it. And she said yes. What the heck?
And she still likes him.
Yeah, imagine that 10 years later, right? 9 years later, right?
Yeah.
10 years later.
That's 7 years.
Well, for there, yeah.
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Well, I've known her for 10 years.
It's 7 years. So.
7 years from that.
Yeah. He graduated from Issaquah High School, ladies and gentlemen. Their math program leaves a little something to be desired.
Yep. So did you.
Their math program leaves a little something to be desired.
It's all good. which is why he was so far off at the start, because he can't read the clock.
Right.
The final heat was good.
I make my starts on a
He did
sundial.
a good job. He did a good job. And this is really a cool piece of hardware here. Oh, there we go. Can you see it?
Stick her back up.
Oh, that's okay. It's not magnet. Look at that. Look at that driver. No, look at that driver.
Who's your
Pretty
daddy?
cool. Yeah. I know this has been a tough year with the COVID stuff. We all have our masks. I wasn't sure if I was going to be required to wear a mask or not. But, everybody stay safe. Enjoy the time, and I'm looking forward to seeing that E-race that's coming up.
No, Eddie Canfouche is going to clean up.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Is he good?
Dude, that's money.
Is he good?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, he's the jump.
Is he good?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks again. We have to watch that. Is there any odds, over/under odds on this thing? Any money on it anywhere?
Easy there, Angel the wins.
What?